In this video, I'm going to explain why you don't need to be worried about Apple Fitness Plus. Let's go. Hey, I'm Daniel and welcome to Uscreen Health and Fitness, the best place for personal trainers, yoga instructors, brick and mortar studio owners, and more to learn how to grow their business online. Today we're talking about something super important to health and fitness professionals like you trying to build an online streaming business. Last week, Apple held their September event, which usually means a new iPhone. But in typical 2020 fashion, the event disregarded norms and instead introduced updates to things like their iPads and Apple Watch, but we're not here to talk about those. Apple officially announced their fitness streaming service, Apple Fitness Plus. And for a lot of fitness professionals out there, maybe including yourself, you got a little bit nervous. If you're not in the loop, then here's a quick overview. Apple Fitness Plus is basically a new service they'll be offering for streaming workouts. Apple seems to have spared no expense in the development of this new offering. Pretty typical. The studio-style workouts are delivered by world-class trainers and it will incorporate motivating music from their other service, Apple Music. Workouts can be streamed on iPhones, iPads, or Apple TV, and it uses a custom recommendation system for users, taking into account previous workouts. They'll launch with cycling, treadmill, rowing, high-intensity interval training, strength, yoga, dance, and core workouts, with new workouts being added every week. They've even created an absolute beginner program to help people get started with the basics of movement and exercise for those wanting to begin the process of getting back in shape. Most workouts can be done with no equipment or just a set of dumbbells, and access to the service will cost just $9.99 a month or $79.99 a year. Coming from a $1 trillion company, this all sounds a little bit intimidating, right? After all, you're just one person, and even if you've got a growing business, it's impossible to compete against a giant like Apple. So how can you possibly compete? As a quick disclaimer, this is a developing situation with information emerging every day. So we're working off of what we know right now. But for now, there's good news and then there's great news. So which one do you want first? Okay, we'll start with the good news. The good news is that Apple joining the fitness content game is actually a great thing for your business. I know that might sound confusing, but I think John Foley, the CEO of Peloton, said it best. He said it's quite a legitimization of fitness content, to the extent that the biggest company in the world, a $2 trillion company, is coming in and saying, fitness content matters. It's meaningful enough for Apple. He nailed it right on the head. Fitness content has been growing as an industry, but adding Apple to the mix really just legitimizes what you and I already know. And it's something that I've been saying forever, which is that the future of fitness is digital and online. This move by Apple is basically just sounding a trumpet on a stabilizing market. Apple moving into this space means that it will be more mainstream than ever. Imagine how many people are now going to be more open to the idea of paying for fitness content. A lot. Okay, now let's get to the great news. This is actually really interesting because it's a detail that Apple didn't mention during their event. Or if they did, I missed it, but I found it on their website after the fact. And that is that the Fitness Plus streaming service requires an Apple Watch. And not just any Apple Watch, it has to be a Series 3 or later with Watch OS 7 or later. And you have to have another Apple device, whether that be an iPhone, iPad, or Apple TV. Apple is limiting their service to their devices and requiring subscribers to have a minimum of 2 Apple devices to use the service. Not to mention that when the service launches in late 2020, it will only be available in Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, the UK, and the US. And that's it. And honestly, the best news here for your worrying mind is that only an estimated 8% of Americans own an Apple Watch, and not all of those people are going to use Apple Fitness Plus. Some of them, as well as some of the other 92% of the US population, will be looking for other fitness streaming solutions. So stop worrying. You're not going to succeed and grow your business or reach your goals by worrying about Apple anyway. You're going to win by focusing on your fitness business and making it the best that it can possibly be. You're going to win by having an online component of your fitness business. If you don't have that yet, then you need to watch the video right over there. Seriously, don't do anything else. Watch that video and start taking steps to get your online fitness business thriving. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.